Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Slappin Kpop podcast. This episode is just our first recap of Road to Kingdom, episode 1. Yay!
Yay!
So I'm here today with Kayla.
Hello.
And Lucas.
Hello.
So what did we all think?
I like it a lot.
I had
it was super good.
I had a lot of fun.
It was a lot
but
of fun.
I also know this show is going to take me on an emotional roller coaster I don't want to go on. So.
Oh no, I swore off of competitive, like actually competitive, K-pop shows after I think Mix and Match, and I saw like half of Produce season 2, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I didn't think Kingdom was gonna be that.
Yeah, we were told this was not gonna be a competitive show, and we were lied to blatantly by Mnet. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I thought this was.
I was
not
not
happy. Rules where they would threaten to send people home like Queendom, but like no one ever took that seriously because we never thought it was going to happen. Now it's actually happening, and I'm going to lose 2 groups that I genuinely am now kind of invested in.
It makes me so upset.
Yeah.
I'm so upset. And it's like, I feel like this is the wrong show to be doing on it. That like the elimination
I'm sorry,
they like need this. They need this exposure.
Okay, we can start from the beginning because literally the first 5 seconds of the show, I have our notes, and literally all I said was for the first 5 seconds was, this intro is terrible. It makes them look like bigger losers than they actually are, because the beginning part of the show literally makes them look like they're pathetic. And I'm like, these groups are not pathetic. I can think of 5 or 6 different groups that aren't even big enough to go on Road to Kingdom. And I'm like, they're pretty decent groups. It's a garbage preview that makes them look more desperate for fame and like they need this show. I'm like, they don't technically need this show.
All of these groups have been fine without this show, honestly.
Yeah, Pentagon does not need to be on here.
No, Pentagon especially.
Yeah.
Pentagon especially... Even that whole
really
freaking like recap thing, they probably don't.
The boys,
but
don't.
like, yeah, One Us maybe even doesn't really.
Even two is
they
have
new
that they probably like. This is good.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sorry, like they you kind of need to let them grow on their own 2 feet, Mnet, a little bit.
Yeah, One Us is very only a year old, so it's like they have time.
Yeah, so like,
still.
And for a year old, like you saw the preview, One Us was able to like sell out a concert of 4,000 people in their first year.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that
international
they said,
too.
International
it's not even
concert
like
in their first year. That's not a like tiny little group that no one cares about. Like that. Like that's literally something they said in their intro as they're walking in. I'm like, that's insane. That's great.
My other favorite thing was they even made this whole thing of like what's the group you wouldn't want to be against? Pentagon. Oh really? Everyone said Pentagon. It's like, no, they don't need to be on this thing.
Not prompted by producers at all, completely on their own and totally organic.
But even if it isn't organic, everyone knows that's true. Yeah. The thing is, everyone knows it's true because, Pentagon doesn't need to be on here and they're too big. How much
you want to bet, like, they were probably... Because I feel like they fed that maybe there was going to be a group and, like, Pentagon is the... Like, they kind of deciphered Pentagon was going to be there. Because it's like, I'm sorry... In terms of massive boy groups, I would not want to be up against. I love Pentagon. Pentagon is not the first one that comes to my brain.
There's definitely some type of prompting, I feel, there to get them to Pentagon.
That was completely organic, not at all prompted by producers. All these groups happen to say... How much you want to bet they also said, like, SF9, they also said Astro, they also said I wouldn't want to go against BTS, 17, EXO, Icon, Winner, GOT7, Stray Kids, and then eventually down the line, they're like, I also wouldn't want to go up against Pentagon... B2B,
Put
Big Bang.
That's on how many groups they had to list before they got down to Pentagon.
I'm like, well, let's just start from the top. BTS, EXO, 17, like down the list, and then eventually they're like, I don't know, maybe not Pentagon either.
And then Mnet's like, yes, that's our clip we need.
5 minutes later.
It's like, all right, done. We don't need to listen anymore.
Thanks.
Clip it into them talking about BTS.
Right.
It's fine.
Wait, BTS? Oh, that'll get us clicks. Yeah, put that into.
Well, no, the first group that they literally showed in that preview
is Jungkook.
Was just Jungkook's face. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, the first person I want to see in this... the first boy group I want to see in this show is BTS. Oh, yes, that's how we get the clicks.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So then do we have anything to talk about that next part with the girls
No,
of Queendom?
it's fine.
Who said
Okay.
nothing?
It's nothing useful.
Who said
They're
Very
They just
scripted,
give-
but
It was
it's
so
like
scripted.
whatever.
They just give them some real generic advice. It's fine. It's like nothing there.
It's
is
also
important.
my favorite thing is also that they said to treat this like a festival. Girls,
That's
you
the thing.
had zero competition. Like this was not a competitive show
I don't
for
think.
you.
Well, they probably didn't know
They're
that this
entirely
is elimination
competitive.
now. Like they probably didn't know that.
But like it's just real funny that it's like completely cut from that
Yeah.
to like the fact that this show is completely competitive.
Now it's just cutthroat.
Yeah.
Also, like they're all. It's just hilarious. Then everyone comes in.
Yeah, we just
They
get
all have
everyone
their
comes
entrances.
in. There's nothing like
Exceptional.
super exciting happening there. They all just enter.
No, I just love that they're the third group to come in, and they're like they didn't get the memo that you're supposed to wear all black. Apparently,
Yeah,
they're
everyone's
just
in
in
black.
these like pure white suits. I'm like, what?
Good job. Good job.
I mean, they
They
stand
stood
out.
out.
Following
Yeah,
dress
they
code.
stand
You
out.
could always tell where at one point when all of them got together because it's 58 people. The
Yeah.
groups kind of blend together, and I was like, wait, which one are you?
Yeah.
Which one are? And then I could always tell where One Us was. I'm like, you are One Us.
Yep.
I know that. Everyone else, I'm like, there's a lot of boys.
All the boys.
Also,
Oh my
Jang
gosh.
Ju just living his best
I love
life.
Oh
I love
boy.
him.
I've commented already that what's it called? We were talking before we started that I haven't watched that much of like the extra like Golden Child content. Like I haven't watched their like shows or anything like that. And this was like the first time of me really getting to like see them in like reality or whatever. Holy crap, Jang Joon is a freaking chaotic human being and I love him.
He is.
Holy
he is
crap.
like this 100% of the time. Just that is
He's
that is
so
that is how he
adorably
is.
chaotic.
Like I am watching him on TV and I'm like that human being seems so exhausting to be around. Holy
He seems
crap.
like, I feel like I could, with my personality, I feel like I could be around Jang Joon for about half an hour at a time, and then I'd need I'd need a nap.
20
He's
minutes.
at-
20 minutes.
Jang Joon is at-
20 minutes to half an hour, and then I'd need a nap.
Jang Joon is at 100%
Yeah, I need that.
energy, like all the time.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
He's just living, like, literally, I'm sorry, I wrote down some quotes, which is, we want to flaunt our chameleon-like charms.
Oh
That's a
boy, that was a
quote.
good
Yeah.
quote.
And
That was
also,
a good quote.
we will seize the throne. That's another
quote. There we go.
I just started at some point when the boys were when Golden Child was just introing themselves. I just was like writing down quotes they were saying because I'm like, this is gold.
They're just gold.
This is just gold. I love this.
They're so great, honestly. I feel like the interactions between like Golden Child and just other groups are like big highlight
Oh,
of
that's
this
adorable.
episode.
I also love that One Us and Very Very are just so awkward but like
They're like
adorably
because
so
they're
awkward.
like best friends because they see each
They're
other
best
all the
friends
Yeah, they know
time.
each
because
other.
they usually promote around the same time, and also apparently I did not know because I think when in our preview episodes we did say that One Us and Very Very debuted the same day, but like One Us is only 2 hours older than Very Very.
Yeah, that's
which
insane.
is the cutest little
They're so
relationship
cute.
I've ever seen. It's so cute.
I love it. It's adorable.
Aw.
Oh,
It's actually just the sweetest thing.
yeah. I'm upset we didn't get to see any of the One Us Very Very like blind date phone call because we didn't.
Oh, I
They
know.
just completely cut it out.
They only showed one. I was so confused. I only saw one of them and was like,
I know.
wait,
I was
we
like
just missed
looking
the other
for
one?
clips of it, and it just isn't there.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that they divided what we call the boy group blind date phone calls into two parts where it's like it's what the boys, Golden Child, Very Very, and One Us together,
Yeah.
and it's they divide the boys and Golden Child call each other. And I feel like we got way more of that phone call.
We got
Yeah.
like all of it because it was a disaster.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
Golden Child. Oh boy.
I just love the fact that they both played hard to get.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you hung up on us,
We're not
we're just
calling
not
you
gonna
back
call
now.
call
yeah.
back.
and we're
Call
not
us
gonna
back.
call because you got to play hard to get. And I'm like, okay, this is what, and that's what solidified it as the blind date phone call.
And Jang
Yeah,
Joon is
and then
just
what's his- I forget his
being,
name.
like giving them absolutely
Insane.
nothing for an answer.
like, it's just absolute cryptic nonsense, and it really did feel like they were just dating.
It's just like, what...
That's what dating is, kids.
Yes.
That's what dating is. Just very cryptic. They give you nothing.
And they're all doing these, like, bad voice impressions on the phone.
That's
so
less
bad.
like dating.
Yeah.
That's less like dating.
And I also just... it's so funny, because... the boys, like, make a mistake because Juyeon just, like, uses his regular voice, and then Jaehyun just immediately knows that it's him.
I know who that is. That is that member.
They went to school together, and I think they're good friends, so that's why Jaehyun, I think,
really?
knew.
I guess.
Yeah.
I just love that Golden Child is essentially trolling the entire phone call. Like, they took none of it seriously, and I'm like, that's I think how you have to
That's what we need.
take this show.
Mm-hmm.
Just have fun with it. Because I felt like I've seen some criticism of the show was that a lot of these groups, while they do have a different year, they're all technically same generation groups, whether that be third or fourth gen. I don't know what generation we're in anymore. But
yeah, I don't
like that they're
it's
all
like
very similar
Pentagon,
ages.
the same generation. It's like Pentagon is technically the same generation as like 2.
Sure, but like they're all roughly the same age groups. Like these groups are
right.
about the same age. So there a lot of people were like, well, there's not that much diversity. I'm like, yeah, but I think the interactions of these, they're much more comfortable
The interactions
with each
are
other
so nice.
than the like, not that the girls of Queendom were awkward, but I do think that there was that at least hierarchy of everybody was like sort of, there was such a gap between the oldest and the youngest, and there was like everyone filled in the middle, that it was like you had the clear hierarchy and the clear dynamics. This, I think that completely falls away, whether that be that boy groups are allowed much more freedom to express their personalities, or that they're just all really much closer, because you have like half of these boys were on shows together before.
Oh yeah,
we have a massive Mix 9 reunion happening.
These
that
are
they wouldn't mention, but I know
survival show experts at this point.
Yeah, like half of the, like, between, go back and watch our preview episodes if you want to know what shows everybody was on, but like between Mix 9, Produce Season 2, that's half of them were on those 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also think that, I don't know if it was just me, I kind of didn't really watch Queendom. I watched like little snippets of it, like the performances and stuff. I didn't really watch the whole show. But I don't know how much not having an audience like played into like the way they could interact with each other on stage. Did they do that the same on Queendom?
No.
Queendom had audiences, and I was very skeptical about this whole staging.
The stage is a weird
they had
stage.
To do the staging.
But now
they had to
I
do,
really like it.
Yeah.
They had to do
I
the
do really
staging
like it
because
now.
of COVID. They can't have an audience, so what's better than an audience than you make all the other contestants your audience? And I really like it.
I like it
honestly.
a lot.
I think
it's
just,
I was a big fan of them like yelling at each other from across the stage and stuff.
So
and then like
encouraging.
It's so cute.
Like they
I
genuinely and it's not as it's competitive, and you can
Jang Jun freaking screaming
Jang
every time, like, "Oh, you did great!"
I also love, from the boys, Kevin. You randomly hear Kevin speak very clear English.
I know,
like I randomly heard him say,
"It's so funny."
This is
Everybody
in like the clearest English, and I'm like, well, that was Kevin.
Yeah,
I know that was Kevin. Kevin.
My favorite thing ever was they were like, "Oh, our view is blocked by the Golden Child, so we'll be safe." And it's like. Oh my goodness.
I like that. And
just like those interactions made it like
it's
so
it's
fun.
like when 2 comes in and they have to sit next to Golden Child, and Jang Jun just like immediately adopts them as his children.
Yeah, I love.
It's like, oh, have you eaten?
So
I'm like,
cute.
oh my goodness.
I feel like 2 has just gotten like 50-something older brothers. Or 40-something older brothers. They're like, oh no, we're gonna have to guide them through a very difficult debut era because
who was it? Was it like
help.
ONF was like, oh, you can sit down now. Go ahead, you can sit down.
Yeah, because they just went, because like when after Pentagon sat down, because they're the because Pentagon was the last group to come in, like everyone was just like so awkward. Like it was just like, moment, our seniors are here, what do we do? And then 2 just short-circuited. Mm-hmm. They're like, we don't know what to do anymore.
They're just like trying to be so polite. Like they know they're the youngest
so
there,
cute.
and they're just so polite to everybody.
Yeah.
Aww.
Also, if we're gonna talk about the other part of the Pentagon,
ONF 2 phone call, phone
call. Holy crap! That one member of 2, I don't know his name, who literally was like, "Oh, it's ONF because the freaking
company. That's the
WM
only
Entertainment Company is in that city. I was like, bro, what are you
and
doing?
How do you
that
know
was
that?
so
And then
crazy.
there's the member of 2 who just knows Kino's eye because of the mole.
From the mole.
He's like, that's the mole from Kino's eye. I'm like, what?
I'm like, damn. Like,
That's
I'm
insane.
Kino biased, and I probably, if you just showed me a list of eyes, I probably couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't pick that out of a lineup.
I mean, obviously his like list is like very short of like groups that it could be because he like already has like an
there's
idea.
8
But
members.
still,
There's technically 9 members of Pentagon, but there's 8 members of Pentagon on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's still 8 pairs of eyes.
I love how afterwards
That's still 16 eyes.
they start zooming in on the reflection in Kino's eye to try to see.
I was like, oh, he has a ring. I know that ring. It's like, what?
It's so cute. The thing with this is I feel like I was just so, like, 2... I was concerned when 2 was first announced for the show because I'm like, they haven't debuted. Who are they? What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just really endeared to them.
I know.
Like, they're not on... Like, we'll talk about the performances in depth a little bit later, but, like, they're not as... Obviously, they're not as well-versed, and they're not as polished as all these other groups, but they're brand new. They've been out for a month. I love that they also had to retroactively talk about 2 like they're a month old.
Right.
Even though at the time that they recorded this episode, 2 had either debuted the day before or the day after they recorded, and I'm like, okay, so we're talking about them like they've been around for a month. Okay.
I noticed that, and I was like, well, this is funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their impressive debut, aka happened yesterday
yeah.
or something.
Or maybe
it's like,
tomorrow, depending.
I
can't-
forgot. Yeah, it was either they were debuting the day before filming or the day after filming. I don't remember.
Which is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's super funny.
but like they just seemed like nervous babies who were happy to be there, and I'm
I know.
like,
yeah,
That's what's really endearing
I'm
about
endeared
them.
to them.
They know that they're least likely to
Least
sort
polished.
of win. Yeah, least polished. And it's just adorable.
I love them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked. Oh, I also want to mention something in the blind day vocals. I love that when you see like they show all the buildings. I love the Woolham building just randomly has like a giant picture of Rocket Punch. I'm like, hello.
They just put out those banners every time a group has a comeback. They put a banner on the front of their building.
I know, but like it was just a
Yeah,
giant picture of Rocket Punch.
Like, oh look, there they are.
I'm like, hello. Oh, so this dates this.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about all the entrances. Oh, I love that Pentagon is also, like, I don't think Pentagon entirely knows what to do being the oldest in this situation.
Yeah.
I think Pentagon is just not used. They're like, oh shit, we are the oldest.
Pentagon just, like,
what do we do?
doesn't know what to do about it.
they're not used to it.
They don't know what being the oldest means. They're like, oh, we're not, like, the young... Because I feel like in what... Pentagon's not that old, even though they kind of are. They're like 5 years. They're like 4 years old at this
They're
point.
going on 4.
I think
this
3.5
year,
to 4.
They're going on 4.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4.
That's not that old, but I think in K-pop it moves so quickly that now they're the old men of this show.
They really are.
Hui, and I want to just point out that Hui from Pentagon and Tail from Golden Child, they just look...
Oh, they're so old.
old.
They're old men.
They're
both like 28,
they're
right?
27, I think.
They're 27.
I think Korean
Yeah.
28.
In
I think
Korean,
Korean
Dale
28.
is really an old man. In Golden Child especially. He is just an old man.
But also
Because
just...
Bowman is like
Bowman
19.
is,
right?
2000 baby.
Yeah, Bowman's
Oh
like
my
9. Bowman's turning 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like... And then looking at them... Like, I've never seen them next to any member of 2, but if we see them next to any member of 2, I feel like I'm just gonna be like, damn.
Oh boy, yeah. 2,
that is your father.
2
Yeah.
actually, they just look so young. They
are
are
not,
young and
like,
they
I think
look
we
so
looked up
young.
we looked up their ages. They're not, like, ridiculously young. They're, like,
Yeah, I think
average
they're all...
debut age, like, 15 to, like, 18 or 19, I think.
Probably.
I think the youngest is 2002.
Yeah.
And then the oldest is 2000.
Oh, okay,
It's like
so
in
they're
Yeah,
there.
so it's like they're
So it's like not
average-
even that
Yeah.
bad.
Their average debut age, like, they're about what I expect the debut group to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they look so fresh-faced and they look so young because everyone looks super hella young when they debut. And they haven't been, crushed by the industry yet.
Yeah.
They still have some self-respect.
Oh, I saw
some
a funny
dignity.
picture on Twitter where it was like when the members of One Us were all on Produce 101 season 2, they came in like really cute and like happy, and then someone commented, I think it was like Yoon Ji Sung, he was like, oh, they look like they haven't experienced the harshness of the world yet. And then they make some comment in here. It was like, we're here after experiencing the harshness of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been pounded into the ground, and they've come out stronger because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 has not experienced the harshness of the world yet. And I kind of want to protect them from it. I'm like, you poor babies.
Oh, they're going to get that real fast on this show.
They're going to get it real fast, real quick. But I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather them have it on this show than on Produce or...
Well, they already went through a survival show, too. They already went through that garbage already.
But, like, they still look fresh-faced.
Yeah.
They still look okay.
Do you want to just get to the performance? Oh, we've sort of talked about the elimination.
Yeah, we sort of talked about the fact that this is where they tell, after everyone comes in, after all of the blind dates, they finally announce to the groups that 2 of you will be eliminated. I think they're going to have 2 eliminations about halfway through. They're going to eliminate, what is it? They're going to eliminate 2 teams?
Yeah, one is eliminated after round 2, and the other one is after round 3. And there's 4 total rounds, so only 5 of them make it to round 4.
Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk more about who we think is making it. We're going to do an initial prediction at the end of this episode. Mm-hmm. Surprise, I'm adding that rule now. We're going to check if we're right.
But then at the end, they talk about how there could potentially be 2 groups going into Kingdom. There's the overall point winner for the whole season, and then there's also whoever makes the most individual points on the final...
On the finale, like live finale voting.
In the finale. In the live finale, whoever makes the most points could also potentially go if it's not the same people
group,
as who...
Yeah. My other thing with this is that all of these are just promises that they could go on Kingdom. Yeah. I'm betting now, if it's 2, one of them will do Kingdom. If it's only 1 group, I don't think they'll actually do Kingdom. I'm betting that now.
I think they're going to have to choose 2 groups because I don't think they have enough groups to fill regular Kingdom.
It depends if they're going to make regular Kingdom 6. 6?
Kingdom was
6.
Kingdom was also...
It depends on if they're going to make it 6 or 7. Because I feel like they could find 6 groups. Especially with the quarantine. Yeah. Like, no groups can do tours. No groups can do anything except for comebacks. The big thing with that
is, we've talked about this before, is, like, all of the Kingdom level groups have members in the military right now. Which is the really hard part, yeah.
True. I feel like we could get some soloists. Bring in. Sungyu's gonna do it by himself.
Yeah, I guess we can. I see Sunggyu on there as a soloist. Yeah.
Ravi is Ravi.
Yeah, we can get Ravi.
Ravi could. We're just gonna do an entire Kingdom is gonna be entirely soloist, and whoever wins.
Yes.
Road to Kingdom.
And like Pentagon or something.
And Pentagon and.
Probably the
else.
boys. They're also gonna.
The boys.
Probably the boys. Yeah, the boys.
But, like, at this moment, we think it's the boys. Let's see what happens after our next performances.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, do you want to start talking about performances?
Okay, so they start
or just the conversations?
What?
Just like the...
Well, they tell them that...
getting picked first
in the order that they get to perform, they get to choose their own order.
Yeah, they essentially get to choose their own. The first group that volunteers to go is 2, and then from there, that group gets to pick who goes next. So 2 volunteers.
2 and 1 us.
2 and 1 us volunteer. And then 1 us was like, no, we'll let you go. And I thought 2's explanation for wanting to go first was genuinely the sweetest.
It's so cute.
I think it was genuine too. Like, it was like real. Like, that's like, yeah, I feel like we're gonna get like freaked out if other people go before us.
I know.
So we want to go first and just get it over with. And I'm like,
these kind of explanations are the reason I think that the biggest winners from this show are somehow gonna be 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm just gonna be like, oh, my children. Like, I feel like Jeongjun has adopted them. Every other group has already adopted them. I'm gonna end up adopting them. It's great.
Right.
They need more parents.
Lucas is even gonna be okay with being the 2 master.
The actual resident 2 expert.
I mean...
Are you getting more okay
if it
with
happens,
that title?
I watch them, and they're hella cute. And I think... I usually don't like... Not rookie groups, but like really young groups, because I feel really awkward like getting into them, because it just feels weird. I don't know.
I feel the same
just
sometimes.
Like,
yeah, no,
so sometimes I'm just like
uncomfortable a little bit.
I'm like, I really like you guys, but if you were just like
Slightly
3 years older, I would like love you and I would like be really into you. But it's like, it just makes me feel off. I don't know. That's why I feel really awkward, really like standing a group that young. But I mean, I can definitely like appreciate them objectively for what they are.
I feel like I just end up liking those groups almost like little brothers, where I'm like, I'm so proud of
it's
you.
It's like I want the best for them, and like I want to protect them from the world.
I just want you to be happy and be proud, and I want to protect you from the
horrors
hug of this industry. Wrap you in a blanket, give you some hot cocoa, and have you take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't deserve to be here. You're better than this.
You deserve more.
Okay. So 2 goes first in the performances.
I thought it was pretty good. It was a little basic.
It was good.
It was a little basic.
Yeah.
It was really just like if you've ever seen an Mnet performance with a dance, with like an extra dance break, that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
It was a very
It was a remix of the song. It wasn't the original song. It was a remix of the song. So it was like a little bit different.
It's like a special stage of Magnolia, if you will.
Yeah, it was good. I really thought they did a great job. They did the song and they did a...
Like, no one was terrible. We'll get there, but no one, I think, was, like, terrible in that, like, they messed up or did something that was... While things can be poorly executed and bad ideas, the actual execution by the groups of those ideas were not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were just some poor ideas were had, and we'll get to that in...
Yeah.
It's not the next group, but it's the group after.
Yeah, I think that it was not... The execution is really good. The problem is that they don't really have any ideas to make because they
have
don't
one
have
song.
anything to
they
go off
have no
of.
image to sort of subvert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're thinking about like the creative like avenues you can take being a group, it's like, oh, let's look at freaking I don't know, Golden Child. How many concepts have they done? How much like creative liberties do they have to take with their image? They have more to do. Whereas 2, they have one song, one concept, which isn't even a concept. It's just a debut. It's like they can't really make a concept with a debut.
Yeah, and the other thing is that like other groups can sort of be subverting expectations. Like if you're a cute group, you go with a badass concept, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. But 2 hasn't even really created a concept for themselves yet, and they're so new that it really isn't to a point where they would need to. But I think for who they are, I think it does still establish them as sort of that very, like, try to be cool, like, not super cutesy, but, I mean, come on, they're absolutely adorable. Mm-hmm. Boy group.
I think that the thing with 2's performance is that it wasn't bad, but it's just all of the other groups here are just better. And it's...
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's not 2's fault. That's Mnet's fault for putting them on this show.
Yeah. I mean, what can you expect when you put a new group like that up against all these groups who have been in the industry, like, minimum a year already?
Yeah. And a full year can really do a lot, because we're going to get to it, but, like, One Us and Very Very, you forget how new they are, but they are very, like, it's been a year, I think, in January.
But they've still, like, One Us has had how many comebacks? They've had, like, at least, like, 3 comebacks, right?
I think they've all had 3.
Yeah.
Wait, 4. 4 with One Us. It might have been 4 each.
I think they both had 4, yeah.
Yeah, they've had 4, which is intense for a year.
Yeah, but still, it's, like, 4 comebacks, you have a lot of, like, different
sounds.
Yeah, Very Very went straight up from, like, cute to whatever they were doing in Layback. So it's like they really went through, like, the full range of concepts there.
And then with One Us, they haven't done as much change, but, like, you have, like, that more intense sound with Valkyrie to that, like, traditional sound with Lit. Like, they've done a bunch of different
compare that
concepts.
to, like, a song written easily or easily written, whatever the actual name of that song is. It's like
we're going to get to the fact that K-pop songs this year are very confusing and impossible to say in a different podcast.
Yeah. But One Us has done a lot of different concepts, even though it's not as quite the range that Very Very has went through, but, I mean, they still did a lot of different things there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just generally sucks that
I feel bad that
every other group has so much more, like, such a larger, like, head start on just general concepts than 2 has, and it's not their fault that they weren't able to really, like, step up and, like, do something they've never done before because they've only done one thing. They've done nothing. So it's like, it's not their fault.
They have done nothing.
At this point, they have literally Magnolia, a couple of live performances of Magnolia, and that's it. And one absolutely incredible. I will gush about the song forever. They have a cover of Can't Hurry Love. It's incredible.
It's so good.
It's their best song.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so good.
It's amazing. But yeah, I think we can move on.
So 2 picks the boys, even though even though One Us continues to like just be like, can we go next?
Yeah, spoilers. One Us is gonna volunteer to go every single round, and they're gonna go last.
Yep.
That's how it works.
But it's funny. It's a good.
I don't know if that was scripted. That could have been scripted, but
also
it was still
like
funny.
I feel like I wouldn't put it past these groups that just seem to be just having a good time and happy to be there. Because 2 just genuinely, I think, wanted to see
the boys. They were like super like excited to see them.
Like, I think the 2 might actually kind of like they seem to have like knowledge about all these other groups and might actually have. They seem like fans.
They're fanboys.
I want to say fans,
yeah,
but they seem like just fans of all these groups.
They're like little fanboys of everyone on the show.
Yeah, and they seem
they say multiple times.
With Pentagon, they just seem very starstruck and like we just want to be polite and we want them to like us.
Yeah, I love how many times they're like, I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna like talk to celebrities. It's like, wait, aren't we technically celebrities now too? And then they get all flustered.
So, like,
it's like, yeah, technically, right?
It's also like
they're like,
so
wait,
new.
I feel famous now, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you are. So you're doing it, honey. You're on TV. I'm like, oh my god.
Job.
Oh god,
I'm proud of
We're just so proud of 2 for just being there and like.
They did such a good job.
I know. I would just like to say that, like, a month out from, like, right now when we first started talking about recording this series for the podcast, like, I did not think this is the point we would be at, where all 3 of us are absolutely in love with 2.
If you told me when this podcast started, hey, you're the group that you would be most excited to listen to is 2. Yeah.
Yeah, like, we had to force Lucas to learn about 2 because neither me or Sammy wanted to watch World Class and, like, look into them, and now here we are.
And I ended up not watching World Class, but I don't know if I want to, because that seems like an emotional roller coaster.
Don't get into those variety, like survival shows. They're garbage. And it's an M-Net show, so it's going to be extra garbage.
It's going to be very bad. So I know I'm not going to like it, but yeah, it was a very yeah, it was fun. Do you want to move on to the boys?
Yeah,
then?
So 2 picks the boys for to go next, and all 3 of us, I think, like the boys' performance the best. It is phenomenal.
Yeah. It was phenomenal.
Just, that sword throw, leap, catch at the beginning is so good.
And then they do they do that, and then they also do like the weird backflip over someone's back or whatever
like,
at the end.
Crap.
I'm like, what the heck? My favorite thing is the dance practice where they don't fit in the freaking practice room. It's like so they keep like overlapping each other, and there's a moment where like someone like falls over or like bumps into someone, and they are all like because they don't have space. It's so funny. Their
practice room is so small wherever they're practicing this performance in.
Because they're not obviously in their real practice room, but I've watched the boys dance practices before, and
it's just like a random place.
Yeah, they're not there. Yeah, it's just a random place. Well, no, their actual dance practices are in like an official, like real, like practice room that has like a logo and stuff on it. Yeah, for their what's it called?
The dance practice.
This one, they were just like all just kind of chilling in a room.
It's way
that
too small for them to be doing this
10
performance.
people.
And yeah.
Oh no, their practice room is so small.
It's so small.
But like the boys actually had the best performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we were saying.
I want to point out that something I noticed on watching that performance a couple more times that I don't know the members of the boys by their face. Mm-hmm. Whoever is holding the sword at the very end of the performance, I'm pretty sure is supposed to pull out the sword from the sheath, and then it got stuck, and then it just looks like he's trying to just like end the pose there. But that's just something I noticed about it.
I think at some point I did think I noticed that too, and I think at some point I was just like, look,
it's fine. Like,
I feel like if he had if he had tried more and it did get stuck, I think it'd look worse.
Yeah, no, he does a good job.
He just I noticed that it's stuck and then just abandons it immediately, and I'm like, that's good like
thing
recovery.
To do.
Yeah, that's good recovery, because if you keep trying, I think it would just look worse.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing was also the three. I think they showed literally every single group's reaction to the sword throw jump thing.
Yeah.
They just showed every group just like yell.
It's so good.
What?
It's amazing.
It is really cool.
The first time we saw it in the preview, I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
incredible, iconic,
Like a big yo.
It's
That's
so
so
good.
cool.
power move."
Yes.
I was also saying I didn't think that there's also at the end that there's like that one member who does like a flip over someone else's back,
Yes.
and like someone else jumps over him, and it was like, what the heck is that?
Also,
like that
everyone is just jumping
didn't get enough
over
screen
each
time
other. Like,
either.
I like the thing with this is also not something I expected from the boys, because like I've seen the boys dance, and the boys dancing is really good, but it doesn't do any of these kind of tricks. Like, because there's groups that are known for these tricks.
They don't do like
there's
the jumps and stuff.
Groups with these flips. This is not a group that I think this is not the group I think of when I think of that, and it was just such a great, like, where has this been, the boys?
It's just that one, like, sword throw thing at the beginning is also just, like, such a great way to open up that performance, too. It's like, look at this. Like,
It's
we're
such
here.
a power move.
Yeah.
Let's start with a freaking visual holding a goddamn sword
And then
just
throw
like
it
chilling,
to another
and then just throws it in the air. Whoop! A guy jumps
Catches
over
in
it,
midair.
grabs a
It's
sword
just
midair,
The other thing is
and then does like
he's
a weird twirl, and you're like,
Yep.
damn.
He just so casually
tight.
throws it too, almost just like, no, like there's just no force. He just like so casually and coolly throws it up, and it's just like, okay, all right, you are the kings, the princes, the drama princes of this story. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. Just steal my heart.
Yeah, it was definitely the best one.
It's all of our favorites.
Yo, yeah, it's absolutely, and I think it was their favorites too. When we get to the actual ranking that the other groups did, but I also think that it was just sort of, it's different. It's not a concept that the boys have done before. Like, this is how you do different, new, but still like recognizably the boys, and it's just so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I also loved like how they did like the sectioned off parts, like. Because it's like they really used like having multiple, like a huge group really well. Because it'll be like, oh, 4 people are dancing over here while something's happening over there. And then you move over. And it's like they use the stage really well. And they like move from like portion to portion to portion. And it was like such a big event. It looked
It's
really
also
cool.
like everyone talks about like big group. Like I think K-pop go through phases of like we're going to have like massive groups debut now. And I think now we're in more of a phase of like having smaller groups debut. The other like for as many pros and cons to both, big groups can just do like their dancing, their formations and everything just go to a level where I'm like, you guys can do anything.
Yeah.
Anything can be happening, and I'm like, it's incredible.
All right, because essentially all we're gonna keep saying is that the boys' performance is really good. I guess we should move on to the next one.
So the boys picks Pentagon.
After once
again volunteers
continues to try to volunteer and doesn't work.
Nope.
So
can I start? Because I think I have the best
opinion
of this.
The best opinion.
So what? Yeah. Well,
the
not the
negative
okay. That was the wrong word.
The least negative.
The least negative opinion. The most positive opinion.
Positive.
So they start, and it starts with a boo-doo-doop boop boo-doop from Shine, and it's like,
intro.
oh, it's Shine. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Shine, it's the thing, and then it transitions into like this screaming thing, and Wooseok is like going crazy
with no shoes on, by the way.
No shoes,
barefoot, and then it goes to some of the members have like these like creepy like clown masks, I think it was, or something, and they're like all trying to like attack him, and he like pushes them off, and then it moves on, and they do like a dance break kind of thing. And then it ends with is it Kino who says it?
I think it is.
Oh yeah, it says, to quote it, "Pentagon is the king, there is no doubt."
Yeah, that kind of was not that great. And then they spend the last like 10 seconds of their 90-second thing just staring at everybody.
True.
So I didn't hate this. I made a theory on our wrote the previews, like the episode 0, where my idea was, hey, what if they're obviously their most popular song they've ever made is Shine. And so it's the most recognizable song for their group. So they said, all right, how about we start with Shine and show, like, what is it Hui said later on in the episode, show the progression of our, like, the story of our group, where we started out, this was the first big thing we're doing, and now we're trying to change ourselves and, like, develop our concept. And it's like, okay, that makes sense, but it didn't really work that well. I did enjoy it. I didn't like the masks. Those were kind of weird. I thought you could have just done it with just the members. I didn't think that was necessary. And then the English at the end being like, Pentagon is king, felt really not
That's not
genuine.
It's not a good look.
That's
really
not
weird.
cute.
It's not a good look.
Okay, so I have a mini
rant. Besides that, I thought it was good. I didn't hate it, but it was just the execution was great. The concept just kind of felt a little
muddled?
too... It wasn't... Yeah, they kind of wanted to do, like, 3 things, and it didn't really work.
So I have a different opinion on it now than I did when we first saw that teaser. So I like it more now, because we didn't know what these performances were.
Yeah, me too.
We thought they were supposed to be an actual song. So now that I know this isn't dark version of Shine, like, I'm more okay with it now, that it's just, like, an intro performance. It's still not that exciting for me. I know that they have to have that whole part with Wooseok in the beginning and with him doing stuff because he is still injured, and I don't think they wanted to put him full in the choreography. So I think that's why they have that whole beginning part with him, and then he runs off in the middle because he can't do that choreography in the dance break.
He also does that in he does that in Dr.
he only
Bebe
comes
as
in
well,
for his part
so
and
they kind
then
of
leaves.
linked it.
So I understand that. It's just, it's not that exciting, and because they spend so much of their performance just, like, kind of running around and not doing anything, their dance break is so short. Like, it's a good dance break. Like, it's, like, good, but it's just so short. And there's just not a lot happening there that makes it that exciting for me. I get that people like it because it's more of a whole performance type thing, but when I look back on it, there's just still isn't a lot of substance to it.
Yeah, they lose a lot of their time, like, doing... It's like, half of it is, like, the intro, and then they do something, and then the outro is them just staring, and it's, like, not actually doing anything. So they lose so much time doing just random stuff that doesn't actually contribute as much as it could when you could, like, I don't know, be dancing.
Exactly.
So...
That's a similar opinion that I have with it. My only thing to add is that if you're only going to spend that short 10 to 15 seconds actually dancing, why is that dance also less impressive than the dancing you even did when your last comeback where you're both singing and dancing? The other thing I don't think we've mentioned is that some of these groups chose to sing and dance, and then some of them just chose to dance. The boys just danced, and Pentagon just danced. And I'm sorry, like...
They weren't dancing. They had...
Twos was singing, Wanna sang,
and ONF sang.
And ONF sang. Very, very also didn't sing. So they had, like, pure dance performances. And that was the assignment.
And Golden Child didn't sing.
No, Golden Child didn't sing.
And spoilers, all the groups who sang came in last place.
Came in last place. Which, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that even if you, like, the dancing for Dr. Bebe has a very similar style. It's that darker, more aggressive concept. And this dancing was just kind of meh.
It was very meh.
It was very meh.
And it's also...
Like, not bad. Completely competent. Completely okay. But nothing exciting.
When you compare...
I'm more excited to watch a Dr. Bebe performance.
When you compare this dance break to any section of the dance that any of these other groups are doing in their performance, like, it just really... It doesn't hold up, really.
It's very basic. It's kind of what I expect them to be doing.
I don't have a lot of high expectations from Pentagon from dancing to begin with. I think they might be the weakest group when it comes to dancing, honestly, on the show.
True, but I think they have had performances where their dancing has been good, and I think they can pull off choreography. I just think that they were given bad choreography.
I think they were given bad choreography, and
boring choreography.
I think this also, I just think the whole concept and the performance was just like a miss on their part.
The concept was muddled.
Yeah.
The other thing I kind of want to rant about, because y'all have ranted about the other part of it, the part I want to rant about is the Pentagon is the king, there is no doubt. And this is a bigger issue I'm having with K-pop, which is these random statements. Because G-Idol did the same thing. Blackpink does it in every song.
Yeah. ITZY has literally a crown choreography at the end of every single one of their songs.
Yeah, I'm like, these statements are are just the easiest thing to pick at as a flaw in your group, because the easiest thing to say is that, well, Pentagon's the king, there is no doubt. Well, you didn't come in first and the entire performance was lackluster.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows a flaw and then people can pick at, and if you don't live up to that expectation, which is impossible to live up to, it's not a great... I don't love these, like, random statements. I'm like, why are we doing
I have
this?
a feeling they probably got advice or something, or Cube told them that G-Idol came in and said all of this stuff about them being the queen, like from their intro performance literally all the way through Lion, they make references to them being the queen, and then they didn't even win. They didn't come in second place.
They didn't win.
And so they tell them to come in with this like false sense of like boldness. It's like, you have to come in and you have to be really confident about it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just not a good look. It's like not a good look at all, because all it's going to do is it's going to set you up for failure when you're not in first place on every single performance.
All right, I think we can move on. So after that, Pentagon gets to pick, and they pick ONF after ONEUS volunteers. Again. And ONF, they do We Must Love. And
I think there were
really
several
good dance
songs
break
in there that ONF. Yeah.
It was like a medley of like 2 or 3 songs.
I think it's 3, but I'm not 100% on that.
I think it's 3 as well. But they're one of the ones that do sing and dance, and it's really good. It's kind of not, I don't want to say generic, because it was really interesting, and they did show it was a really good performance, but there wasn't like something that like I remember about it, which is kind of...
I like it because it is like a mashup of like several other songs, so I think that's what I give them extra points for, is for showing like multiple songs of theirs in this performance. But I would say it's pretty generic in terms of the intro performances here. There isn't any big moments of it that you really remember from it.
The only thing I kind of remember was that they had really good vocals.
Vocals are
like,
good, yeah.
I could tell that they were performing live, and I could hear like they did some pretty impressive like vocals, but it was like still like dance break, kind of like they moved around a bit. They did a lot of stuff. It wasn't like stand out. It didn't like, I didn't remember anything super specifically about it because of the performance. It was like I remembered aspects of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't shock me, or it didn't like pull me to be like, wow, these guys are super cool.
Yeah,
I need to like pay more attention to them or something.
I enjoyed ONF a lot. I thought that they had like they were one of my favorite Again, the middle half of my ranking is just sort of like, they're all about equal for me. Them and Very Very and ONEUS are just really good, and they're not as standout as I would say like saying. The boys, but they're really good. Yeah,
that's what I said. It's like, it was good, but they didn't have something that made me like remember it. Yeah, that's what I said.
It's good, and I enjoy it, and I think that they're like, I'm excited for what they're gonna do, and I think that they have a very good potential on this show. I think that they could do... I feel like they're a group that I would really be interested in seeing, because ONF has done a couple different concepts before. I'm excited to see them try something different, because this wasn't really that different. This was just kind of...
Well, yeah, because they were still doing their own songs.
It was their own song. It was their own song. But I want to see something different from them. I want to see them do something like almost... I feel like they do something really hard, like rock inspired, and I feel like it'd be good.
They could go like full on cute. That would be really different for them.
Or full on cute, that too. Okay, so after ONF, we have ONEUS continues to try to be picked, but that doesn't work.
What's really funny with this one is that ONEUS and Very Very both bonds here, and then ONF is like, you two can play rock, paper, scissors, and then we're gonna pick Golden Child anyway.
It's like...
Yeah.
I still want to see like rock, paper, scissors match, though.
F.
Yes, Golden Child's performance is really good. It's really intense. Yeah.
Yes.
I think one of the things I like about Golden Child, like as a group, is how like precise and in sync their choreography is. I've said this before in our preview coverage, but that's sort of like one of the big things that Woollim groups have is they're very like in sync, precise choreographies, and this is just like that, but it's like on another level from anything they have done before.
Yeah. They don't do like all of the crazy flips and like super insane stuff that the boys did, but it was like almost just as good. It was super like sharp.
I think that it's the two kinds of K-pop choreography, which is like the super stunty choreography, and then just the super like intense like dancey choreography.
Yeah, super sharp.
Super sharp.
Yeah.
And like both of them are good and valid and really nice, but like they're just different choreographies.
There's also a part in Golden Child's choreography where they lift Jonghyun off of the floor, and it looks real stupid in the actual show because Mnet lighting and the camera angle like just doesn't show it at all.
Suck.
It looks way better in the actual dance practice because you can see what's happening now.
I recommend everyone go watch these dance practices because you just see it from like different angles, and they're usually better.
It's better. The One Us camera angle is really bad in the dance practice.
That's also, in the One Us one, there's a member missing.
There is a member
missing. I think Suho is missing.
Yeah.
So it's like, so they don't even do a part of their choreo because they just can't, because they do a lift at the end, I think, and they just can't do it because they just don't have a member.
Gone,
So that sucks, but
you get a different angle for it. You get something a little bit different.
Yeah. But yeah, I think pretty universally Golden Child was our
number 2.
Then
I have them number 3 in mine.
You have them number 3,
which is funny because I stand Golden Child the most out of everyone here.
We just have expectations.
Yeah.
We love them. We want them to be better. So up after Golden Child picks Very Very, and
One Us is gonna go last place.
One Us is still sad. They look a little sad.
But it's kind of funny because I think they get that it's just a joke now.
Yeah, at that point, it's a meme.
You can't
just
pick
have to
them
go last.
because then you're the person.
Yeah,
they have to.
They seem so excited.
I love Very
Very's performance is so good. It's so good.
It is really good.
Still that intensity. It's still that like super sharp, super intricate choreo.
They also have they have a stunt in there too that I think it's pulled off really, really well.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, where it's like they have one member jump in the air and then they like catch him and like throw him backwards, and it just looks really, really smooth.
The Mnet freaking camera angles are disgusting.
Bad.
You can't even
Mnet
see half
had
of
no
it.
idea how to shoot
It's so bad.
Because I feel like it's a different kind of staging. I mean, Mnet can't shoot anything to begin with, but even like this staging is almost something new for them to try, and I think they're still have no idea what to do.
The stage is it's kind of weird.
And also they have to show every single group reacting, of course.
Yeah.
So
I have to watch the performances without the reactions in there first, because it's like I can't like get into the performance if I have to sit here and watch the reactions and then they are going to replay the same thing in the choreo like 3 times in a row. Like, it just gets old sometimes.
Yeah, they just replay everything 3 times.
Yeah, that's just
like,
Korean television, though. They do that.
It's just Korean editing style. It's just their editing style. It's insane. All right.
And then finally One Us is going to perform.
One Us finally gets to go, and I think my note is just I like the Phantom of the Opera.
I like the Phantom of the Opera as well. And I want to say that they kind of did stand out a little bit more for me because so far every single group has done like intense, sharp choreo, and One Us kind of did a more like, I don't know, graceful, more like flowy, I don't know how to describe it, but they didn't do as like super sharp, super intense choreo, which I liked because that kind of pushed them like to be more unique in that aspect.
They also sang.
Because they also did sing, and their singing was good.
All the groups that sang like did good. Like their vocals are good.
Yeah.
So I have the same problem with both ONF and One Us performances, where I feel like they're not as polished, and I get this feeling that their transitions are kind of bad, because with the One Us and ONF choreography, it seems like when they transition between like different formations in their choreography, it just seems like they're like walking over there and there's like no purpose to the transition other than that it's going to be a transition, where I don't feel that in any of the other groups' choreography really, but it like really stood out to me in ONF and 1S, and it's sort of like, it's not one of my favorite things in K-pop choreo when it's like this is just a transition to get the formation change, and it doesn't feel like, it just makes the whole performance feel like a lot less polished.
Yeah, we just need a new person center.
Yeah, we just need
That's
to
all.
like walk somewhere.
Yeah, that kind of hurt it just a little bit, but I still liked that.
I liked
I don't
that
know.
It was somewhat
It was still
different.
Good.
It was different.
Yeah, it was different.
After having so many of those like super intense, super sharp performances in a row, like One Us was like was different. They did stand out, not just because of their like Snow White outfits.
Yeah, that's true.
Like just pure white, entirely white.
Everyone's wearing black.
You guys are different. Everyone's wearing all black. Even like the other one that stands out a little bit is Golden
2.
Wait, no, the boys.
Oh, the boys. Oh yeah, because they've got
boys
their
had
traditional
they're
outfits,
like traditional,
like,
but it's still
basically
like
hanbok.
navy blue.
Yeah, it's essentially
which is almost black.
With the bad Mnet lighting,
the
it's
bowl-
essentially black.
Yeah, the bad Mnet lighting, everyone's essentially in black.
All right.
But yeah, after that,
They get to rank each other.
they rank each other, and then based off of the rankings, it didn't. This one actually
This
didn't
counts
matter.
for
Correct?
nothing.
It didn't
This
actually do
entire
anything.
round counts for absolutely nothing.
The whole episode meant nothing,
Yeah.
actually.
We only got to see Jang Joon live his best life. That's the only
Jang Joon
reason.
living his best life is iconic, and also we fell in love.
Jang
with
Joon
too.
asking too, "Have you eaten yet?" was my favorite thing. I think this whole
was the
episode.
Jang Joon
It
gathering
was
stands
so
episode.
perfect.
Look, Jang Joon is just like living his best life and just genuinely very sweet.
He is as extra as
Yes.
he is really a sweet human being.
He is, yeah. So, after everybody ranks, the official rankings were the boys were first, Pentagon was second, Very Very was third, Golden Child was fourth, ONF was fifth, One Us was sixth, and 2 was last. And I don't think that 2 was like. I think they knew they weren't going to be like. They weren't going to win. They knew they weren't going to win, but I think they were still. They were still sad.
Come last. I think they had a feeling.
Because as soon as they reveal they're in last place, they like stand up and they bow to everyone. They're like, thank you. It's just
and say
like,
thank you. I'm like,
babies.
oh my God.
They're just sweet babies. I love
They're
them.
so cute.
And then they're like, well, we can't go any
All we have
lower,
to
so
do is
we have to do
improve
better
now.
next
We can only
time.
go up
And
from
it's
here.
like,
That's
oh my
right.
God.
You guys getting
You're
Like,
gonna
yes.
try.
Confidence.
Oh.
You're gonna do better.
You guys are
I
gonna do
believe in
amazing,
you.
sweeties.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not crying
Love
right now.
you.
This is so bizarre considering our opinions on 2
This
a
is
month
a
ago.
180 we have taken a 180
We
on
really
2.
have.
And I'm okay with it because they're just like adorable. They're my children
Yeah.
now. Don't talk to like they're my I
Yes.
love them. So how about we all go through our rating and then we'll kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my ranking was The Boys, Golden Child, Very Very, ONF, One Us, 2, and last place Pentagon.
Yes. All of us have Pentagon in last place. Spoilers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kayla,
Mine
what was your
is
ranking?
The Boys, Very Very, Golden Child, ONF, One Us, 2, and Pentagon.
In a way, we have very
We
similar
all have very
ratings
similar
to-
lists. There's a little bit of a...
Yeah.
And also, we all have kind of very similar rankings to the official ranking.
Yeah.
Just with
There
one
is
notable
one
notable
notable
Pentagon.
change here.
It's Pentagon.
And Lucas, yours.
And then my list is The Boys, Golden Child, Very Very, One Us, ONF, 2, and Pentagon. So mine is essentially the same as Sammy's, except I swapped One Us and ONF.
Yeah, and
Yep.
mine is the same as
So-
Sammy's, except I have Very Very and Golden Child swap.
And mine is
Yeah.
just mine.
We're all just going to compare lists back to Sammy.
But yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and
Say
talk
we have
about
the
why
Why Pentagon is in last place.
Yes. Why is Pentagon in last place? Lucas, take this
Pentagon is
bullet.
last place because we love them so much and we know
much.
how good they can be. It's a matter of expectation and understanding of what they've done before this, and then showing something that conceptually was bad. Because we weren't worried about execution, because we know Pentagon can execute anything they put their mind to. However, sadly, this time, the idea behind it was not something we were the biggest fan of. So, because of that, we thought it was worse than all of the other people who just had mediocre ideas, or even
no idea at all.
Yeah.
No idea at all. I'm sorry for two. It's just like let's just perform our song just a little bit better. It's like, because we thought that the idea actively hurt them in a certain way, we thought that they very much were hurt by that. So, if that kind of recapped it.
I also think that the reason Pentagon ranked so high when the groups rated each other is that I feel like the other groups had almost convinced themselves that Pentagon is so good, and there's nothing that Pentagon was going to do that was going to make them bad, and they were really afraid to admit that Pentagon could have given a bad performance. And I think they all just rated them high by default because they already thought they were so amazing, and they had to be amazing.
They essentially got this win by birthright.
Yeah. But the boys definitely deserve first.
Oh,
and I think everyone knew that.
Everybody, like, for as much as I think, like, the boys was just so clearly the winner that I'm like, if Mnet had tried anything with that, I feel like everybody would just been like, what?
Yeah, no, they couldn't mess with that. Also, can I go to bat for ONEUS being better than ONF? Because I was the only person who did that.
Go ahead.
I
be convinced.
I liked that they weren't. The fact that they were the only person or the only group that didn't do like a sharp and like really hard concept really like stood out to me, I think. And it was like it just edged out ONF just a little bit because they both did like a very good performance, but the fact that ONEUS kind of just did it differently just helped them a lot more for me. So I just thought that it was just barely enough to push them over ONF for me. And it wasn't that ONF was bad. It was just that they did something just slightly different than everyone else, and they were just unique in a way that I appreciated more. So that's why they just barely edged out. They were about the same, and then I was like, but ONEUS's performance was just barely like more unique. So I just pushed
think
them.
the reason for me that I have ONF, because ONF and ONEUS for me are very, very close. I think the reason I gave it to ONF is because I like the fact that they did like 3 different songs, and I think that's really the only reason why I put them above ONEUS, honestly.
Okay.
I also like to say, because I'm the only person with Golden Child in 3rd place, I think it's a similar thing for me with Pentagon where we have so many expectations for them already. I have a lot of expectations for Golden Child because I love them and I know what they're capable of, and so this performance for me wasn't as shocking because I know they are capable of it, and there's stuff like this they've done in the past and like year-end performances and whatnot. And for Very Very, I think this like wasn't a performance I was expecting to come from them, and it was just so good. It was way better than any expectations that I had for Very Very, that I think the shock factor of it for me like ultimately has Very Very better for me.
Okay. That's also fine.
Yeah. I just thought that, for me personally, I liked Very Very and Golden Child about the same. And then I just kept watching it back and forth, and I'm just like, something about Golden Child, I don't know. Something about my ranking felt right to me when I finally put them in that order, and I have no idea what it is, because I feel like from, like, ONF and ONEUS, I would say are about this equal. Very Very and Golden Child, I would say, are about equal, so I'd have no idea. This order is just sort of my feelings now.
Arbitrary.
Yeah, my feelings right now. In an hour, I'll probably switch them. It's been bad. It's been hard to rank them.
Yeah, they were all good.
They're all really good. No one did badly.
No.
Like, no one had a bad performance.
Yeah.
So, now we're on to
if we want to talk about next episode.
Yeah, next episode they are going to be doing covers of famous boy group songs.
Yes.
And if you want to know all the songs that they're doing, they actually released
already up on
previews even before this show has even before the first episode aired. And we've already talked about them in our preview episode.
It's kind of a spoiler, but
Mnet already did it. What's the point?
Yeah, Mnet spoiled it already, so.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about those, or are we just going to wait for next week?
Well, let's just wait.
Okay.
I'm God willing, Golden Child.
Oh my god. I have been stressing about Golden Child since I saw this teaser performance. Dear
So if any
Jesus.
of you don't know, the song that Golden Child is performing is an early first gen K-pop song. And it includes the N-word. Like, just a hard drop of the N-word in it.
Oh boy.
I'm just praying that people have the goddamn sense to change the lyric or just not say the word.
Please, for the love of God.
Please.
And it's this performance.
If that gets on Korean television,
is gonna go through many people. Like Mnet, it's like for Mnet to let
how many producers? How many producers?
It's gonna go through all the producers. It's gonna go through the people that actually have to put this on television.
If that many people see that performance and let it happen, like it's gonna
go through the actual members of Golden Child, who I know
they're all
them
Korean,
speak English, but
I feel like even freaking Kevin from The Boys is gonna watch it and be like,
Kevin from The Boys will
excuse
be in the
me.
audience
and
as it happens, and I'm just gonna.
He's just gonna a big what face, and it's just like, what?
It's gonna cut to Kevin from The Boys. His jaw is on the
Yeah.
floor, and it's like
I'm uncomfortable. I'm leaving. I'm not a part of this.
I've quit K-pop. I'm gonna go back to Canada. Goodbye.
I need to go on a long rant about this if it happens.
If it happens, I hope we.
I really hope we don't have to.
But like the fact that we're even concerned that it's a possibility says.
I think that says a lot about just Korean culture.
Just about Mnet,
because it happens a lot. Like
whole.
This happens to K-pop idols.
Happens too much.
Lot.
And the fact that we're just so worried because it's like this song isn't a song that often gets performed anymore, which makes sense
for good reason.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Why would they pick that song?
But it's a good song, and if you watch the preview, it's the best preview. But I'm just very concerned about the actual,
It stresses me out a lot,
content.
Honestly.
I'm stressed. I hope they do well. Please don't make them say the N-word.
Especially because I actively stand Golden Child, and it's like I know if they do it, they don't mean anything by it. It's just like a whole ignorance thing, and it's just I think it's overall it's a Korean culture. It's a problem with like ignorance in Korean culture about it is what it boils down to.
Yeah. The fact that I'm that concerned about it though, oh my god, it stresses me out. It's also like very early K-pop songs did that so often.
They did. The 90s K-pop is an adventure.
No yeah, it is. It really is. But no, they're gonna. I think if you want to hear our actual thoughts about about all of those previews about next episode, watch our preview episodes of Road to Kingdom.
We talk about them extensively.
I think that this show I'm excited for. Last question: who do we think are the two that get eliminated? Lucas, you don't know the speculated spoiler.
Probably not. No.
Who do you think doesn't make it? Because I know the speculated spoiler either, and we'll talk about that after.
Right now, it's going to be based off of the next performances, right? It's not going to be based off of.
Does this count as performance?
No, this is performance 0.
No, this is performance 0.
So it's going to be the next performance and the performance after.
Yeah, just based off of the official rankings, I don't think it's going to stay that way. I think 2 is going to be eliminated, and I think it's going to be either ONF or Very Very.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I
think probably ONF.
I'll be really upset if 2 is not one of the groups eliminated, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. As much as I adore 2 and we have now adopted 2 as
don't deserve to be
these our younger siblings, I would feel worse for these other groups if 2 is not eliminated.
Yeah, if freaking Golden Child gets eliminated
and
2 doesn't, we're gonna riot.
I will riot.
There will be riots in the streets. We're gonna fly to Korea. It'll be great. We're gonna find a plane to take us to Korea in the middle of COVID.
Riot.
Yes, let's go to Korea, the best place to go in this time.
Look, I trust it over here.
We're really upset. But yeah, that would be my prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about
yeah,
the spoiler?
So to put up the spoiler warning now, officially, there is a speculated spoiler around who the first group to be eliminated is, so if you don't want to hear that, I would just leave the podcast now, I guess, because we're not going to talk about much more afterwards. But so there is speculation that Very Very is the first group eliminated, and I honestly kind of believe it, because their first performance, that Monse cover, is really bad.
Oh yeah, I did know
it's
this.
So bad.
It's so bad.
And if
the two big 17 stands are right here, and we can both say that
that's
it's not
how you perform,
is it?
Monse.
It's still, it's just good. Like, it's so upsetting.
And
because I love that song.
So this intro performance may well be their best performance, and the fact that it's gonna count for nothing is, I think that's gonna hurt them a lot.
The fact that all of this genuinely was just a waste of everyone's time because it counted for nothing is kind of almost upsetting, and that is almost the disrespectful thing that happened in this show, is that the fact that they're like just taking this performance and it counts for nothing.
Yuto from Pentagon was just like, why are we even here, like, during this whole performance, when they told them it was going to count for nothing?
This? And he is correct. That is the correct question to ask. Like, the boys, if they come back and do like a bad, not that I don't think they're going to do a bad performance because we saw the preview and the preview isn't bad, but like if they happen to do a bad performance, like they might have had the most iconic moment in this show already. Which is depressing.
Yeah. So any final thoughts?
I'm excited for this show. I kind of am falling in love with these groups more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to see the rest of the show. I think Mnet's going to be what ruins it if it goes bad.
Mnet's going to ruin the show. I mean, that's just on brand for who Mnet is. And their track record.
They've already ruined it, so... They've already ruined the lighting. Might as well ruin everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then I think that's going to do it for today. Thanks for listening. And we'll catch you on the next one. So, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.